Welcome back to Pro Sports.
On today's episode, we'll be talking about the New England Revolution beating the Red Bulls 2-1 this past weekend. So let's get into this.
We won.
And we did win. We did, in fact, win. And I don't know how we managed to get out of that game with a 2-1 win against the Red Bulls. What are your thoughts, Aiden? How did we get through that game?
Defense, offense, any human possible.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but yeah, it was just an overall really strong performance by the New England Revolution. They had 53% of the possession of the game. They had a lot of shots. They made 2 shots, one from a free kick from Carlos Gil just outside the 18-yard box, which was a beautiful top corner finish, by the way. Probably one of the best top corner finishes I've seen in a long time. And Carlos Gil looked very Messi-esque in this game. He was all over the field. He was a facilitator. He got the ball around. It was just an all-around great performance by the Revolution. And then obviously, I was partially right, just like your prediction. What was your prediction last episode, by the way, Aiden?
2-1.
It was 2-1, yeah. And mine was 1-1. So originally, I was partially right at the start, just before halftime, when we were tied 1-1, after the Red Bulls ended up tying up the game just before we went to halftime. And then way late in the game, in the extra time, somehow we came out of that game with a win from a PK from other than Carlos Gil. What a surprise. Our best player on the team somehow gets us out of that game with a win. And I don't know how we did it. I'm proud of Caleb Porter. That is the number one thing that I have to say that we need to agree upon is Caleb Porter had the right pieces, had the game strategy for that game, and he executed. That team executed and performed to what I think we should have seen them start from the very beginning of the season. Don't you agree, Aiden?
Yeah.
Yeah, damn, you tired over here, buddy? Would you not get enough sleep? Jesus. It was an interesting game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts, Aiden? What do you think we could have done better on that game? What do you think, we did really well on that game?
We did good, and everything.
What? What?
We did good.
Yeah, we did do good. We won the game, but, let's elaborate. So, let's kind of break it up into the different sides of the field. So, let's start with defense. Like always, defense executed really well. We saw Ohmsberg in there for the start of the game, and I believe Peyton Miller, and Brandon Bye started on the bench, which I actually think that is probably the preferred start formation, because I actually think I prefer Peyton Miller over Brandon Bye. I don't know what happened, but we performed well in that back line. Now, what are your thoughts, Ian, about the back line?
Good teamwork.
On the defensive side of the ball?
Yes.
Yeah, I think overall our defense did really well. I definitely think it wasn't as structured as what we normally see, because the last, 4 games, the defense had a lot of success. But I think Peyton Miller in that back line is much better than Brandon Bye, I personally think. Don't you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think you agree with me on that, Aiden?
Because Peyton Miller is way better than both of them combined.
I think Peyton Miller is just younger. He's got more, I wouldn't say passion, but he's got more, like, he wants it more. He wants to compete. I don't see a lot of that in Brandon Bye. I mean, I see him wanting to compete. It's just, it seems like he just doesn't want to be there. And I think that's the difference. And I mean, overall, the defense, no matter what, the defense has been very consistent this entire season so far. And now let's jump into the midfield. I mean, we have Carlos Heel. Who else we had? We had Yusuf in there. Who else did we have? We had Polster.
Mm-hmm.
Not really the biggest fan of Polster, but you know, it is what it is. Polster, you know, he's not. I wouldn't say he's too aggressive. He's just doesn't play the ball enough sometimes. I mean, what are your thoughts, Aiden, about Polster?
I think they need to put him more. He get a feeling to play soccer again.
Yeah, I mean, with Polster, it's just like he can be a good player. It's just he fouls too much.
Yeah,
he doesn't go after the ball, and I think that's the problem that I have with Polster. He's very aggressive. I like the work ethic he does, but he like loses the ball too much. He goes after people's ankles all the time. Like it, I don't know. And then we have to talk about Carlos Heel, because what a performance by Carlos Heel this game. 2 goals, and you know that's in one game, and you got the win for your team. I think that's what we've been noticing though, like a lot with Carlos Heel. The time that he's been in New England is the fact that he can contribute to the team on, you know, time and time again, and even get the team out of, you know, out of hell, to put it in perspective. You know, they shouldn't have won that game. I'm gonna be honest. I think that game could have went both ways. I think Red Bulls could have had a clear chance of winning that game. But I think New England wanted it more. And especially Carlos Heel. I think he wanted it more, because I think he was tired of losing. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
What else, Aiden?
Win again.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing, is winning this next game. If we can win another game, then I think we're on the right track. I think that's the biggest thing that we need to look to against. Who's the team coming up that we're going against?
Cincinnati and number 10. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I forgot his name. I don't pay attention to any other teams, but at some point we will. At some point we'll know most of the players on every team. But for now, we're worried about New England.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have to say I'm pretty proud of Caleb Porter. I think overall he executed the game well. But let's now when we talk about the midfield, let's go into offense. Now, I would have to say the offensive side of the ball was basically non-existent. Yes, we won. Yes, we scored 2 goals. But again, no presence whatsoever up top. Don't you agree, Aiden?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you think, Aiden? We should, you know, what needs to change up front?
The people.
Yeah, I mean, let's put it that way. Yeah, we need to have a proper striker up there, because Campana's injured. But even when he was on the field, he didn't really do a whole lot. I really don't see the hype in Campana. I don't. Yeah, he came from Inter Miami. Yeah, he played with Messi. But the guy hasn't done anything. I understand he's been injured, but he was injured 4 weeks ago. And where is he? Nowhere. Non-existent. No, it's just like, I don't know. If once Campana comes back and Chancalay comes back, which I honestly do think we'll see a significant improvement on the offensive side of the ball when when Chancalay especially comes back, because that's where we get most of our goals, is Chancalay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are your thoughts about Chancalay, Aiden?
kind of good.
Kind of good. I think he's really good.
Yeah, really good.
I mean, he's the reason why we scored so many goals last
Mhm.
season. Him and Carlos Hill connecting like that. I think that was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I mean, without Chunkalai, this team's offensive side of the ball just seems non-existent and dead. To put it in perspective, I mean, again, we scored 2 goals, yes, but who was that from?
Carlos Hill.
Exactly. So, you know, if you're looking towards your player that is always consistent, that's always there to freaking get you out of a bad situation, it's getting to the point where you can't keep relying on that guy, because once that guy leaves, what are you going to do? You're not going to be able to do anything. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, any final thoughts, Aiden, before we conclude this episode of Bro Sports?
That's Revolution. Let's ride.
Yeah. As always, Revolution. Let's ride. I mean, we got to just keep sticking with our team and hoping that things change. But again, if we don't see a win coming up against Cincinnati, or at least a tie, then I think the red flag needs to be raised. And I think we know exactly who we're going after first.
Caleb Porter.
Thank you. I think that's what everybody wants, is Caleb Porter's head on a stick. Not literally, but figuratively. Because you can only deal with nonsensical losses one after another. And you have a new team, you have your own team, you have the players that you want, and you're still not like playing up to the expectation that you were.
And you know the players, most of them from different teams, won 2 cups with them. Yeah.
Exactly. You know your team. So I think what Aiden was trying to say is that, you know the team, you know them well, you know how they play. I think you should be playing to their strengths and not their weaknesses. I don't want you putting a random freaking Joe Schmo up front and expecting them to freaking score goals. Because I think that's what your team was. Which is random Joe Schmo who just came onto the team because Caleb Porter said so, and they put him up front, and he hasn't done anything. I get it, he's a backup, but who cares? A backup should at least be able to do something up front. Not to, like, be like, oh, I'm just going to stand here and just do nothing. Like, that's not what we want. What we want is goals.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ultimate way you're going to be able to win a game, is goals.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's all we have for you guys for this episode. I'm your host, Corey Raftery.
Aiden host, Aiden Raftery. Make a joke after this.
And we'll catch you guys in the next episode of Bro Sports. Have a good one, guys.